there is nothing wrong with spiders being in your house. If there's spiders in your house, that's probably your fault, hun. So recently, one of my good old pals from the olden days, I just remembered that he said this. He told me that can swallow spiders in your sleep, and I thought that this is something that boomers believed. I didn't know that my generation believed that because that's not true, but So he was telling me about that. I'm like, that's not true. That's literally not true. That's supposed to like scare kids or whatever the fuck, right? So he was like, no, like he insisted that it was so fucking true. And I told him there's spiders living in my house and I don't care. And he told me, oh, well, see, that's probably because your house is disgusting. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what it probably means if there's spiders in your house. So I live in a garage, as you can see. And in this garage, there's a little hole where anything can come in. Anything. Little bugs come in all the time. Whenever my family opens the garage, like midge flies come in all the time because I live right by a giant lake. So, the midge flies love it here. In fact, they swarm the door whenever it gets humid. That's how I can tell it's going to rain soon. But so, for the longest time, there was a wolf spider that was living in my garage, and this was before I even had any carpets, right? It was cold, whatever. I remember I was gonna turn on my fan, and I saw this wolf spider, and I named him Applebee's. He was a young adolescent male. You could tell because he was his ass was kind of a little bit long. He had those little things on his face, like the little circles, his little ball sack on his face or whatever. And he used to eat bugs. I've watched him like dart out at bugs and eat them. It's insane. And midge flies they don't bite. They're just mildly annoying. And he used to eat them. But he was not very often hungry because, this place was like a food haven. And that was not my fault or my decision or my idea. I never called up the midge flies like, hey, midge flies. Oh wait, hold on. Let me get one of my guitar pedals to make it look like I'm, actually on the phone. Hit him with, hey babe, do you think the midge flies could come over today? Yeah, bet. Awesome. I've been waiting to see them. No, my Metal Zone M2 MT2, whatever that fucking hell, can't spell. Fuck out of here. So anyways, that's not my choice. Midge flies come in and they just do. Or when you open the front door, they can fly in any day or any time. So the spiders come in and eat those, and that makes my life easier. I don't know if spiders really like mosquitoes, but because I've never seen Applebee's eat mosquitoes, but I'm assuming they probably do like them too. So think about that next time you hate on spiders living in your house because they're probably doing you a good service by keeping bugs out of your house. And maybe not necessarily you decide to have those bugs in your house. Who knows? Applebee's didn't really eat ants either, and ants are also kind of annoying. But yeah, that's just my thoughts. I just thought that was kind of stupid because the fuck do you mean? You think that spiders living in your house is, oh, well, maybe that just means your house is a mess. That can be true, and my room is a mess, but it's because there's a bunch of boxes, not because there's a bunch of food that's like attracting small insects that the spiders eat. I've also had and I know daddy long legs aren't really spiders, but I've had those in my house before too. They're pretty cool. They like to eat poop. I've seen them eat poop outside. What's interesting is they're also very, very chill. I used to have 11 pet daddy long legs. I had them in a little container and I had food, I had water, but my landlord wasn't okay with me having them in there. So, but yeah, next time someone tells you spiders are horrifying and scary and they shouldn't be in your house, just remind them that that's probably a good thing that they're in your house, you know? They also don't bite. I've never been bit by a wolf spider and I've held them. I've come up to them. They lived in my house. Um, yeah, they don't bite. I mean, spiders are like low-key afraid to bite. Like the way I think about it is like imagine like you have like no consistent food source at any given time. You don't want to waste that you don't want to waste whatever venom you have or whatever energy you have. So you only bite when you absolutely need to. You have to like go out of your way to make a spider bite you, by the way. It's insane. I think the only spiders that I've ever seen that will like actually go out of their way to bite you are like um what the fuck are those spiders called? Like the yellow sac spiders, but they're also very territorial, so that might be why. Um but yeah, spiders are cool.